How's it going, guys? In today's video we're going to be covering a 1 to 375 Burning Crusade alchemy guide. Alchemy is obviously going to be a very strong way of making money when the Burning Crusade comes out because of all the consumables that people are going to need for the content. So if you like the video, make sure to subscribe, but other than that, enjoy this guide. So first off, I want to start with the actual list of materials that you're going to need to level your alchemy from 1 to 375. And the approximate amount of gold this is going to take is obviously going to vary, sometimes very widely, depending on what server you're on, so keep that in mind before you journey into any profession. I don't want to just sit here and read off every single herb that you're going to need for this, so feel free to pause the video if you need to look at the list any further. Also, I'm going to be covering the 1 to 375 alchemy, but if you are already alchemy 300 and don't need the first part, there's going to be a timestamp down in the description where you can click on that and get taken to the next part of the video. To start off your alchemy leveling, you're going to of course want to get alchemy from a trainer in one of the cities. If you have any trouble finding said trainer, just make sure to ask a guard and they'll make sure to point you in the right direction on your map. Once you have alchemy, you can start by using about 60 silverleaf and 60 peace bloom to make 60 minor healing potions. These crafts are going to take you from level 1 alchemy all the way to level 60, and if you need any extra materials for this recipe, since it goes yellow at 55, these herbs aren't going to be very expensive for you to get on the auction house. Also, while leveling this, make sure to become a journeyman alchemist from your trainer when you reach alchemy level 50. Next, you're going to want to combine all of those minor healing potions along with some of the briar thorn you need for this recipe and the next few to make lesser healing potions. And these lesser healing potions are going to take you from alchemy level 60 all the way to level 105, where this recipe turns green at. And it's going to require 1 healing potion and 1 briar thorn to craft. This recipe goes yellow at 85, but we are using briar thorn for the next few recipes as well, so you can make sure to stock up here a little bit. After making the lesser healing potions, you're going to want to use 10 briar thorn and 5 mage royal to craft 5 elixirs of wisdom. Each of these elixirs take 2 briar thorn and 1 mage royal to craft, but this is going to take your alchemy from level 105 to 110 real quick. Next up, to go from alchemy level 110 to 150, you're going to want to start crafting healing potions. These are going to require a good amount of the briar thorn you've been using and part of the bruiseweed that you're going to need for leveling alchemy as well. Each of these potions are going to require 1 bruiseweed and 1 briar thorn each, but the recipe is going to go yellow at 135, so keep that in mind when you're buying your mats. After completing these, you will be alchemy level 150, and you should go back to a trainer in one of your cities to get expert alchemy. After getting expert alchemy, you're going to want to use the remainder of the briar thorn and the bruiseweed that's left over to start crafting strong troll's blood potions. Each potion is going to take 2 bruiseweed and 2 briar thorn to craft, and these are going to take your alchemy from 150 to 155. Now, after getting alchemy level 155, you can start crafting greater healing potions. These are going to take a minimum of about 40 king's blood and 40 life root to craft all of them, depending on your procs. The recipe will go yellow at 175, but it will not go green until you stop crafting them at 195, so it's going to be able to bring your alchemy all the way from 155 to 195. Now, to follow that up, you're going to want to get about 40 wild steel bloom and 40 gold thorn at a minimum to begin crafting elixirs of greater defense. Each of these are going to take 1 wild steel bloom and 1 gold thorn to craft, but the recipe will only go yellow at 215 and it's not going to turn green until we're done crafting at 235. After crafting these, you should have raised your alchemy level from 195 to level 235, but make sure to stop crafting these when you reach alchemy level 225 to go to a trainer in one of your cities and learn artisan alchemy. Then you can keep crafting these elixirs until you reach 235. Next up, you're going to want to get about 30 of Arthas's tears and then make elixirs of detect undead. These are very simple to craft and they only need 1 Arthas tear to make each elixir. This recipe will again not go green until 265, so after getting all of these crafts finished up, your alchemy level should have gone from 235 to level 265. After getting alchemy 265, you're going to want to continue and use about 40 sungrass and 40 blindweed to craft superior mana potions. This recipe is not going to turn yellow until 275 and it's not going to turn green until 295, so these potions will end up taking your alchemy all the way from 265 to 290 when you're done crafting. After finishing those mana potions up, you're going to want to start making major healing potions. These potions are going to take a bit of your golden sansum and also mountain silver sage, but both herbs are going to be used again a bit later for another recipe. The potion requires 2 golden sansum and 1 mountain silver sage each to craft, but after making these, your alchemy should have gone from level 290 to level 300. Now that you're alchemy level 300, you're going to want to take a trip over to an NPC named Magnus Frostwake at Cardero, located here in the Western Plaguelands. When you find him, buy the recipe for major mana potions. After doing this, you're now ready to go through the Dark Portal and become a Master Alchemist at your Alchemy Trainer in Hellfire Peninsula, located either here in Thralmar as a Horde player, or here in Honored Hold if you are an Alliance player. Lastly, if you are already leveled up, you can choose to go either to the one in Hellfire Peninsula or the neutral trainer located here in Shatrath's Lower City. After you train Master Alchemy, you can now use about 15 Dreamfoil and 10 Ice Cap to make 5 major mana potions, which are going to take 3 Dreamfoil and 2 Ice Cap each. This recipe will not go yellow until 310, and that should take your alchemy from level 300 to 305. Now that you're 305, you can use the last of the Mountain Silver Sage and also some Fellweed to begin making elixirs of major strength. These elixirs are going to take 1 herb each to craft, and it's going to take your alchemy from 305 to level 315. Next up on your list of things to craft is going to be volatile healing potions. You're going to use the last part of the golden sansum from earlier and also some more Fellweed to make these healing potions. They're going to take 1 herb each to make, and it's going to take your alchemy from level 315 to alchemy 330. This recipe is going to go green at 322, but we are going to keep using it all the way to 330, where it's going to turn gray at. Now that you're alchemy 330, you can start crafting super healing potions. These are going to take 2 nether bloom and 1 Fellweed for each craft, and these potions are going to make your alchemy go from 330 to 340, where this recipe will turn yellow at. Now, before continuing on to craft anything else, you're going to want to purchase the recipe for super mana potions. Alliance players will find this recipe from the NPC Halrun at Telrador here in Zangar Marsh, and Horde players are going to find this recipe from Daga Ramba at Thunderlord's Stronghold located here in Blade's Edge Mountains. After acquiring this recipe, you're going to want to use some more Fellweed and some Dreaming Glory to make super mana potions. Each craft is going to take 2 Dreaming Glory and 1 Fellweed, and that is going to take your alchemy from level 340 to level 362, where this recipe is going to turn green. After getting level 362, most recipes are going to start turning green between here and level 365. However, one exception to this is going to be the recipe for major dreamless sleep potions, which will have you return to either Halrun here in Zangar Marsh for Alliance players, or Daga Ramba here in Blade's Edge Mountains if you are a Horde. After acquiring this recipe, you can now finish your alchemy leveling by using Dreaming Glory and Nightmare Vine to craft major dreamless sleep potions, which are going to take 1 herb each to craft. This recipe is going to take you from alchemy level 362 all the way to 375, and it's only going to go green at level 372, making it one of the better ways to finish off alchemy. If you don't want to craft major dreamless sleep potions and instead want to opt for transmutations to go from level 362 to 375, you can do any of the following recipes. Transmute Primal Air to Fire is sold by Almador here and requires Revered with the Shatar. Transmute Primal Earth to Water is sold by Micah here and requires Revered with the Sporigar. Transmute Primal Fire to Earth is sold to Horde players by Provisioner Nasala here in Garadar and requires Revered with the Maghar. And the Alliance vendor for this recipe requires Revered with the Kuranai and is sold here by Trader Narasu in Talar. Transmute Primal Water to Air requires Revered with the Cenarian Expedition and is sold here by Fredrin Swiftspear and Cenarian Refuge. And finally, Transmute Primal Might has a neutral vendor named Skreya in the Lower City, an Alliance vendor named Alta in the Exodar, and a Horde vendor named Malaris in Silvermoon City, where you can purchase this recipe. After finishing up your alchemy leveling, you will now be able to choose an alchemy specialization if the feature has become available. As of now, mastery quests were not brought into the game until patch 2.2, but we're gonna have to wait and see what Blizzard decides to change leading up to the release of the game. These mastery quests will give you a choice on whether to become a transmutation master, elixir master, or potion master, each being able to proc extra items for their mastery respectively. The Elixir and Transmute Master Quest started Alchemist Gribble and Honor Hold if you are Alliance, or Apothecary Antonovich and Thralmar if you are a Horde player. You will have to be at least level 68 before you will be able to get one of these quests, and you will also be limited to one mastery at a time, but you will be able to have the ability to change that mastery for 150 gold at one of the following NPCs. The Potion Master NPC is named Lorana Tharwell and can be found in the Cenarian Refuge here in Zangar Marsh. This is also where you're going to be able to get the quest to become a Potion Master at. The Elixir Master NPC is named Lorokim and is located in the Lower City here in Shatrath. Lastly, the Transmute Master is named Zarevi and is located in Stormspine here in Netherstorm. So, with that being said, that's going to be about it for this video. I'm really hoping that this guide will be helpful for anyone looking to level up alchemy, and I'm going to continue to make more guides for the other professions in the future, as well as any other Burning Crusade news. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.